Hey, good evening traders, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at a very interesting company in the AI space. The company name is UiPath. They're a software development company focused primarily on agentic AI business powered automation platforms, that is. So as you can see, I've started out on the weekly time frame because on the weekly time frame it's doing some very interesting things and building some very bullish structure. So I'm going to walk you through it. So clearly you can see we're above all key moving averages and actually looking to potentially confirm above the 150-day, which is this blue line. The red line is the 200-day. So next week we potentially can get a confirmation above that, but it's above the 20, the 50, now the 150 with potential confirmation. And it is building a nice bull flag with bullish consolidation right here, and I think this has unbelievable upside. So I'm going to lay out some price targets, so you're going to want to stick around all the way to the end. Okay, so with that being said, let me walk you through the price action. So like I said, above all key moving averages. First and foremost, that's super important. These green lines are marked because those are potential resistance levels on the weekly time frame. So I'm going to leave those there, and we're going to transition to the daily time frame. Now, on the daily time frame, it's doing some really interesting things. So I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to explain to you what all these designations are on my chart. Okay, so the designations are these horizontal bars marked in blue, basically orange, and then green, red, and then orange. And what these essentially are order blocks both to the bearish and the bullish side, right? So what I want to show you is clearly this is the blue zone is a bullish order block that has flipped from resistance and is now acting as massive support. So you can see price came into it, support, double tapped for a second, for a second price touch, and then from there we've been in this upward move. Now this upward move, you could see, kind of really got ahead of itself. But what I love about this chart is you can see on this day we didn't have a wick on this this candle body, right? We had a strong close. It just wasn't ready. It needed to back test the breakout zone. So clearly you can see we have this kind of, cup here. We have like a really kind of another cup here. And then that's what it really broke out of, right? So you have it's essentially a double bottom. But if we zoom in, what you're really seeing on the chart is a break and retest, which is the absolute best designation of bullish price action when you see the breakout and then you see it retrace, right? So the breakout was clearly this high right here. It had put in a nice hammer candle, gapped up the next day, and it went and closed at the high, and that's that bullish candle I was talking about. But then it just wasn't ready to confirm at that point. So it needed to move back into the moving average band, right? So clearly we did that. We broke out, we retested, and now we've had 3 days of bullish price action going to the upside. So I love today's confirming candle that confirms this retrace, and I think we are going much higher from here. You could see this this orange zone, we'll call it orange reddish zone. That is a bearish order block. Okay, the reason it's green on this side is because we've now flipped it into support, right? Breakout, retest. Now that is bullish support. So now what do we have ahead of us? Well, after today's confirming candle, we have a move, and I don't know why it just did that, but that's funny. We now potentially can look at a move all the way to about, at the low end, $20.35. And then you have all this overhead of resistance. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to stop there. That just means it's going to have resistance at these areas. So if you're in from this retrace, right, like I am, you could potentially look to this area as your first price target, second price target, and ultimately third price target. Anywhere in this area is going to be high resistance or enhanced resistance. Doesn't mean it can't get through it. It just means it's going to take a little work. So if you're long the position, that would be a key area to sell. Now, if we just continue to go, then we have a move and a gap up, and we just go because the market's on absolute fire right now. I mean, there's no stopping the stock in terms of where it could potentially can go next. But I want to take this in baby steps, and I want to introduce these levels because, again, going back to the weekly chart, the first area we marked was this high here. Well, look where that coincides, right? Look where that confluence is, right into that area right there. So for me, first price target is going to be that 2035 area. Second price target is going to be 2250, call it. And then third price target is going to be this area up here at about $26. So I see this moving a lot higher from here. I think we're in just the preliminary stages of this move, and sure, there's going to be opportunities to sell it, pick it back up. But again, this is a very, very strong stock. I absolutely love this breakout retest. And if we look at the RSI, look at that. It's a beautiful thing, right? So we back tested this kind of 4750 area, held it, and now we're curling back up not only on the stochastics here, but the RSI has plenty of room to run. So I really, really like this to the upside to those target levels. Now, once we break, now let me kind of mark this out, right? So we back tested here. This is kind of how I see the pathing. No pun intended, given the name of the stock, but this is kind of how I see it playing out. So I think we come into this, potentially get a retest back to this potential high here, and then we go for this, and then I think we kind of launch from there. So let me zoom in on that and show you why I say that, right? So as we move higher from this area here, right, we attack this $20 range. What does it need to do? Well, it needs to pull back and retest this high right here, right? I didn't just arbitrarily draw it there, so it would pull back there. There's a reason I drew that as a pivot potential retest. No different than right here, right? So you have this move out, you have this retest, same kind of thing is going to happen here. You're going to go up, you're going to hit its head likely in this resistance area, and then you're going to retrace, attack this, 1877 level, could overthrow it, could even come down a little lower. I mean, again, I draw this only to give you pathing, again, not to give you exact prices, just areas of support and resistance and potential confluence. So I see it maybe overthrowing it here, retesting that, and then making the move to that top end, coming back out, testing that particular weekly breakout zone, and then again moving much higher. So where could it go once it gets above this area? Well, the first area I'm going to look for, I'm not going to give a price target beyond this level, but it's going to be this pivot low right here, right? So, and the reason for that is that daily low right there. So once we get, you have all this open space, right? Now, could you potentially have a stopping point right here? Of course. Could you have a stopping point right here? Let's go here, to this kind of area right there, of course. So those are the areas, but that by and large is pretty much open space. You have no visible range profile of high volume nodes in terms of the volume. You have all of that right here. So again, once you get through that and you confirm above this area, you're going to have a stopping point at 31, stopping point at 39, and then ultimately I see this resolving all the way to about $46. So there you have it. That's how I see UiPath. That's the pathing on UiPath, no pun intended. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor, smash that like button, show some love. I haven't been bringing you guys a lot of these videos simply because, and my camera just adjusted, I apologize for that, but I haven't been bringing you simply because of my move and a lot of things going on, but I am fully committed to bringing you these as opportunities unfold in the market. This one clearly is an opportunity I want to put on your guys' radar. No financial advice given, always for educational purposes and to show you what I'm doing with my own personal trading portfolio. Again, like I said, I bought this retrace, love this absolute price action, love today's daily close, and I see this going a lot higher. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace, love, respect, and take care. God bless. Bye now.